first season as an offense coordinator. I mean, you've made big leaps in offense from the previous season. Why is it? Is it easy to adjust to, easy to acclimate to?
You know, I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of good players to coach in new situations. This situation is no different. Our players have bought into what we're trying to establish. We've got very good coaches that are teachers, and the players are responding to them.
As part of that production that's occurred as the offensive line's play, is this the biggest challenge they're facing collectively as a group? Is the Arkansas defensive front collectively the biggest challenge they face thus far?
We face some good defensive fronts, but getting after the passer, this may be the best one. They can flat out rush the passer, and they've harassed just about every quarterback they played.
With that in mind, who's the starter at right tackle?
We'll know by the end of the week.
Is Patrick practicing this week?
Yes, he will practice.
With the first team?
We'll kind of mix and match like we've done before.
Gus, as you go along in the great season that you're having, the pressure I'm sure will continue to increase on these players, but the confidence level that they're getting every week, will that override the pressure that maybe they might feel?
Well, I would say this, they are getting more confident each week, but each week presents its own challenges, and especially in this league, you got to be prepared each week. You've got to improve, and that's been our message. I know it sound like a broken record, but our only focus is Arkansas, and we know we got our hands full with them, and we're going to have to improve from our last game.
Because Kyle tried to downplay going back to Palm as well, but as a guy who obviously you recruited and went through Springdale and everything there, and now the position change and everything else, CJ had mentioned that he thought it'd be a very big deal for Kyle to go back and be a pretty emotional trip. What have you seen from Kyle thus far this week, and what do you think it'll mean to him?
Well, he's been back one previous time, but I think that goes for all players that are from a certain state. Anytime they go back home, it's a special deal.
We talk a lot about the hurry-up huddle. What is your biggest selling point when you're recruiting guys playing this offense? Is it the stats? Is it the fact that so many players can get the ball?
Well, I think it's all the above. I think any recruit's looking for an offense that will, showcase their skills, and they get more touches, and you look at the different stats for different positions. There's been success at each one.
Coach, it seems like Trey Mason has been the picture of consistency. Last year, even with the record, he still rushed for over 1,000 yards. This year, he's splitting reps between two other guys. He's still racking up the yards. What is it about him that makes him so successful?
Well, he's a veteran guy. He understands blocking schemes, but probably the biggest thing that's impressed me this year about him is his ability to make the first guy miss, and his yards after first contact. He's really gotten stronger. He's very durable, and he's made a lot of tough yards for us this year.
How comfortable are you if Nick is limited in any way whatsoever in having Jeremy play on the road in this kind of environment with him in such a big game?
Yeah, the good thing is that Jeremy has gotten 2 games of experience, and the big challenge will be on the road, but he's got a lot of reps. Even when we played on the road, at LSU and Texas A&M, when you throw the sound in and everything, like he's got a lot of reps during that time. So I got to believe that will help. He's a pretty calm guy too. I know our offensive players have a lot of confidence in him, and I know that's very important.
You have a timetable when you want to make a decision regarding your Nick and his test?
Well, you'd like to as early as possible, but I think, anytime a guy's day to day, you get out there on the practice field and you see what he can and can't do. And then, the sooner the better, but at the same time, it's hard to say right now.
Can you talk about the receivers and how they've been blocking, what part they've had in the offensive success with the running game?
Our receivers have gotten better each week, specifically in the blocking area, and that's very important to what we do. They've gotten more consistent with catching the football too, and I think that's very important. And that's a group that's improving, and we're going to need them to keep improving.
Is Brandon Folks going to be available to play this week?
It's possible.
Gus, I know yesterday was your birthday. What'd you do to celebrate?
you know, not much. Same routine, really.
Gus, a couple of weeks ago on the conference call, just brought up your year in Arkansas. You mentioned that Todd Graham really was the first one to give you a chance to control an offense by yourself. A lot of us took that to be a kind of subliminal shot away at Houston and your experience there. What was just such a negative part of that?
Well, I'll just say this, I mean, I'll be forever grateful for Houston Nutt for giving me the opportunity to get in college football, especially being a high school coach, and, you know, you know, high school coaches look for opportunities, so I'll be forever grateful for that.
Any other questions? All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.